Hey, welcome back to the Virgo Channel. My name is Laura, and I'm going to do a general message for Virgo. Know that energy is fluid, so just interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Also, know if you are new to my channel, I like to go deep within my readings. So I do look at everything, but we take a lot more time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, and see how they play out as karmic themes within your experience. Why? Because there's many different realities that play it at one time. Your level of consciousness depends on what you do. Karma is generated a lot of times because we're unaware. Obviously, if we're dealing with somebody and they are not of a high vibration, a lot of times we don't know that until we get burned. So being able to see things for what they are, means that we're not seeing it through our own wounds. We attract those people into our lives to help us learn. Every day when I open up YouTube, and I have a few channels, so every day that I'm on YouTube, I see people in the comments that say, why is this happening to me? What is the whole point? I don't believe that there is a God. I don't believe that there is a universe. People actually say that because they're so frustrated. And when they say don't believe in a universe, I'm assuming that they mean don't believe in any type of energy that's supportive to them, that's taking care of them. See, the universe is energy, is the same energy of God. They're the same thing because God is ubiquitous. It's an energy. We don't see it. We can feel it, however, but we cannot see it. We can sense it, but again, we don't see it. And so, just like when we meet a soulmate, we don't know by fact, we can't prove that we know that person from a past life and what past life we know them at. No, what it is that we sense their energy. And there's a connection of claircognizance, which is clear knowing, which is the energy of spirit, of God, the energy of the Holy Spirit. That's the energy, is claircognizance, which is, I don't know how I know, I just know. I just know. And that's how we have discernment, right? So when we are spiritually in alignment, we are in alignment with the laws of God, the laws of love, the laws of nature, and the laws of the universe, because they're all the same thing. They're all the expression of unconditional love. You too are supposed to be an expression of unconditional love. However, we are all born into families, experiences where we inherit this karma. We inherit ancestral karma. We inherit collective um, consciousness, which is a lot of times out of alignment. And that's when we tend to perceive that there's something wrong with us, when we're missing something, when we're not good enough. Any energy that keeps us in a place of disempowerment that inevitably makes us stay in a place of fear. See, there's only really two energies, love and fear. So shadow readings are all about integrating the spiritual lesson. They're not just about yes or no. They're about, why did you do this? Why did you attract this person into your life? And what do you need to do to change? Doesn't mean that I'm not going to look to see whether the person comes back. Of course I will, because we want to know that too. However, getting back together with someone that has a lot of spiritual blocks and expecting them to be different when they haven't done any work is insanity. Just because the time apart makes the heart grow fonder. Yes, it does. But without the new awareness, there's no change. And so when you're dealing with someone karmically, it's for you to have discernment to know how you navigate and what you can do to at least avoid negative karma. I'm answering this, almost doing this intro, because I've gotten this question a lot. And I realize it's frustrating when you keep dating the wrong types of people. And I know how it makes you feel. But the worst thing that can happen is adapting to behaviorisms and habits that are going to keep you blocked. and are going to make you stay stuck in believing that you can't have love, when you can't have the life that you really can, because that's God's gift to you. That's your spiritual sovereignty, that you can create the life that you want to create. All you have to do is imagine it. But most people get stuck in their blocks and they imagine the worst, because that's a survival mechanism. So healing, there's an actual process. There's awareness, and then there's integration, where you get to see yourself differently. You get to see the situation differently. And that is what is healing. All right, without further ado, I know that many of you guys already heard that little spiel, but many of you haven't. So like I said, it was pride myself on being a healer. Now, if you do want to enter into winning a free reading with me, you also have to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and write the word of the video in your comment bar. The word of the video will always be in the description box below with all other important information, my other YouTube channels. So if you're connected to a Scorpio or a Gemini or any other zodiac, check out my all zodiac page, my Gemini page, or my what other channel do I have? Scorpio page. All right. And like I said, if you can't find the word of the video, you don't have to rewind. Nothing more annoying than having to rewind and find something. Just got to go in the description box. The word of the video is always the underlining energy that tells me why everyone's doing what they're doing. This is important when we're looking at people that have masks and create personas. And that's the persona is what makes us a lot of times feel crazy, like, why is this person showing me this? Why is this person acting like this? So understanding what the underlining energy is really helpful. Okay. Anxiety, worry. So that's the underlining energy. You can put either one, and I'm being called to, pick up this card as well, which is blame. So you want to know why your person is not coming towards you, and why they're not doing anything. It's because I feel like they're stuck in stupid, which happens when you're in survival mode. It's that you don't know what to do. And I also feel like the last thing that they can deal with is having to deal with you right now, because they're going through it. I feel like they're in a really bad way. And I don't care what they're showing you. I feel like this person puts on a facade, acts like everything's fine, but you know that everything's not fine. And why? Because I feel like they wear it on their face. You see it in their face. They look weathered. So there's a sense that they're not coming towards you because they can't deal with anyone else saying something, doing something. This person already feels like shit about themselves. So I feel like they are in a place of, regrets on how they treated you. And there is a part of this person that is obsessed about it. It's just, I feel like they can't do anything about it. I feel like they're in a place right now where they feel like they can't do anything about it. Now we're going to see what this person did. We're going to see where they are. We're going to see what they plan on doing. But most importantly, we're going to see why you attracted this person into your life, and if you can even create balance within this connection, and what other spiritual information we may need will come out within the reading. Because shadow readings are complex. They're not just yes or no. And the reason why is because we ourselves are holding on to a cognitive dissonance, which is, I want this person, but I don't. I love this person, but I don't. It's like, so it's very triggering. And so that is what I feel like this person feels, which is why they're not coming towards you, because they're like, I already know. I already know. I already know I took it too far. So let's see. Dramatic. I feel like this person cried wolf too many times. You see, like, the thing is, I feel like they never gave you enough time or energy. And so, in order for them to take control of the situation and create a narrative, they were always dramatic, meaning like, I really couldn't be there for you because you know, somebody was doing something, whether it was, but this person at my job, this person at home, my mother, like whatever catastrophe. And it's always this over the top thing, like this person's really in a victim state. And this is why you're like, have a very hard time dealing with this person, because it's like, I'm trying to tell you what you did and how you made me feel, and you're deflecting it, telling me, like trying to one up me about why you couldn't. Like my meaning that your feeling, Virgo, isn't as important as whatever this person was going through. Oh, well, you went through that, but I was going through. So, and I feel like they did that one too many times, that now that when something really did happen, you don't care. You're like, I don't care. It's like you create this yourself, because you didn't just do this with me, you strung a lot of other people along. It's like if you weren't giving me attention and energy, and we really do have a connection, and you'd rather run around with other people, you're not giving anybody attention. You're just feeding yourself. So of course you want to go over the top to create the facade that your life was in such turmoil, that you lost your job, somebody died. And meanwhile, if someone did die, it wasn't anyone that was close to you, but you're going to pretend that it was like someone really close to you. You're going to create the picture of why you always avoid me. Always, when it comes time to give to me on an emotional level, whether that's acknowledge me for my birthday, acknowledge me for a holiday, acknowledge me for anything. Somebody dies, somebody graduates, it doesn't matter if it's good or bad, you're not really ever there. And I feel like this person knows that they took it too far. It's like they deliberately went out of their way. Yeah, to make themselves feel like they were more superior, to make it like, okay, I want you to chase me. I want you to think that I'm desirable. You need to like prove it to me. So I'm gonna act like I don't really care. And then I'm gonna act like rebellious, like I'm the life of the party. Like I, you know, like nothing matters. Like, oh, you're upset. I'm not gonna act like it doesn't bother me. It's like you're not gonna tell me what to do. And you're not telling them what to do. So they would clearly didn't want to be in a relationship. And so which is the irony, because a lot of you will say, when this person pursued me too on top of it, and they do, they come in and they ghost. I mean, they come in and they love bomb you, and then only to ghost, because it's like they're addicted to the idea of it, to the facade of what how it makes them feel, that you desire them, but not really do they want to be in a relationship, especially when they're not taking your feelings into consideration, and they're deliberately going out of your way to send a message, which is what I feel like they were doing. And they'll say, oh, no, it was because this person or this or that. It was always something. So it's not even like we can even be clear, because it would, again, for some, they'll say that it was their work, their family, that they had to help this person. Everyone came before you. It's like, and again, where they were trying to always prove that they have many options, okay? Many options. And this person, like, you felt like they were two-faced, like you're a liar, like you're telling me one thing, but then you're like showing someone else something else. And I do believe that they were doing that. They felt like you were naive. They felt like you were gonna, you know, go for it. This person also, they value their freedom over a relationship. I feel like they have a lot of trauma around relationships. Um, and I do think that they had feelings for you. It's not that they didn't, but they liked the idea of you more than they liked you. They liked knowing that you cared about them, what they got off of you, but they didn't give you enough. And I feel like you felt the connection, so you always assumed that it was coming, it was coming, it was coming, it was coming, and then it just never came. Yeah, like it's like you really like would have like you really would have collaborated with this person. You saw like the good aspects of them. They saw the good aspects of you. On paper, this looked perfect, okay? Like it could really work, okay? Like it would be structured. Like I feel like you have gifts that this person doesn't have, that you bring a lot to the table as well. So I feel like you guys had talked about doing things together, whether that was to take the relationship to the next stage or to start a project together or to do, and this person just like I feel like they dropped the ball. They just they acted like they really didn't care. But then coming from your place too, you're like I see that you have many options. You're not giving me the time. And now you want to do something with me, but you didn't give me the time. So there's a sense that Virgo, you're like, I'm not going to jip myself because I feel like I'm coming up short here because you didn't treat me well at all. And, and now that you see that I'm doing things, making things happen, you want to do that. But this person, like I said, yeah, because this is like I think that they thought that you were so naive. And because this connection um is very, I feel like there's a lot of wounds. You both have a lot of wounds, inner child wounds. That's number one. Number two, like it has the potential where you guys could play together, learn about each other. But it's like you're like, no, because you demand too much of attention and you just have too much to learn. You have too much to learn. And I feel like this person did too many things. They're just too stubborn. They're too fixed in the way that they navigate their life. So even though, like, at one time, I feel like you really did want to do something with them. You really did see how you guys could like create something together, how you can complement each other. But like I said, this person never made you feel important. They always made you feel like you were an option. And I feel like that triggered your inner child wounds. I feel like, you didn't take the time to get to know me. You didn't want to take the time to get to know me. You wanted to do things this way. So I can see why that would be a total trigger for you. Um, Again, it made you feel forgotten about. Again, like, and because you had feelings for this person and they're in, they're out, they're talking to a lot of people, you don't know what's true, you don't know what's not. Everything else is more important. It's almost like kept you upside down because on an emotional level, it's not like they detached fully. They still held on to you while they were doing this, but you didn't have any control. You didn't have any support. Like I said, almost like having this person like deliberately keep you keep you down, like made you not trust this person at all. It's like you didn't trust what they said after a while because their words and their actions were not in alignment. You didn't trust yourself after a while because it's not like, yeah, I feel like you still have feelings for this person, but you also knew that they weren't going to change. And like you said, and just them not being there, you didn't know what you were dealing with. You're like, you're telling me one thing, but you're never here. Everything else is coming before me. And then when I say something to you, it's like you don't want to really look at it. Instead, you start an argument, you just want to like deflect. And it makes me feel unsafe because it's like I feel like you're just going to pick up and like replace me at any day because you're not giving me time. So who are you giving time to? Is everybody just feeding your ego, or is something going to turn into something bigger? And that's what I feel like. Like, I feel like this person was a narcissist. I feel like they gave time and energy to insignificant connections, but then to the people that they claim that are important, they don't do that. The people that they claim are important, they don't give them time. And it's almost like, you should be happy. You should be so happy to be with me. You should be so happy to just to have me in your life, that I don't have to change. So there's like real arrogance. And just like I said, I feel like this has happened too many times. You continue to do it. You continue. And there's no, like I said, there's nothing except for like options. So in the fact that this person has options, they're like, I kind of like the fact that I have options. I like you, but I like having the options. I like to feel desirable. I don't like to feel like trapped in a relationship. I value my freedom. And so, but it's not like I do like you, but I think what happened is over time, it's like it said, everything just came before you. So the person was like, I'm gonna like just every time that you question me, I'm gonna be really dramatic about it. And that's really what's gonna convince you that, I'm telling the truth, or I'm gonna make it like, oh yeah, you're upset that I didn't show up for your birthday. But my grandmother died, or my mother wound up in the hospital, and none of it's true. Everything is like just exasperated to, and that's just an example. Could be at work, the generator blew up and I had to like, of course, you always knew that the person was lying because the stories were like over the top. They were outlandish, almost like in their way of trying to convince you between their, being extremely emotional and like, again, trying to be like put on a performance for you. Okay. So of course you're like, this has gone around too many times and I don't feel safe because you're continually letting me know that you have options. And if it's not by telling me, it's because you don't never around. Everyone comes before me. You're not giving me the commitment. And if you're not giving me the commitment, it's because you perceive that there's other people. And so, like I said, I feel like you took your power back because you were like, I feel forgotten about and emotionally, I don't feel safe in this connection. It's like, I feel like this person needs their inner child healed because they're just very insecure. It's like they don't need to be rebellious towards me, but they continue to be rebellious towards me because they're acting as if I'm trying to control them. So it's either be in the connection and don't say anything, or that. And that's why I'm saying it's like, no. Yeah, like this person revealed themselves to you. And it's like once you see something, it's very difficult for you to unsee it. And I feel like that's why this person has a lot of anxiety. That's why they feel like they can't do anything. That's why they're in regret, because they know that they took it too far. It's like this went on for too long. When someone does it once, they do it twice, they do it three times, but it's every other time. It's like you're sending a message. So it's almost like this person, like trying to breadcrumb you to like, to so that they can take their time to figure out what the hell that they want. Do I want to be single or do I want to like really be in a connection? Well, maybe I could do both. And they know what it looks like. Don't listen to other people, trust yourself to know the truth. See, they know. I feel like this person's the type of person to create problems in people's lives. And so I feel like because they've caused problems in other people's lives, they don't usually just have a problem with that one person. You know, that one person usually has friends, has parents, has other people. So there's a sense of, you know, once people know who this person is, they don't like them. So it's more or less like this person's projecting, like they know that they're not good. But they're assuming that if you were to tell everybody about them, they would say, don't be with this person. And because they know that they didn't treat you well, not because of other people, but because of them. See, they're like, oh, don't listen to other people because maybe you didn't really see how I treated you. You saw how they treated you. It's just no, I feel the chemistry between us. We need to trust that the energy we share will bring us back together again. It's like I think that this is what this person hopes. But the thing is, I don't really feel like you have passion towards them anymore. I feel like at one time you did, but it was too much on hold. Everyone came first. I'm not giving you anything. You're going to say something to me. I'm going to act like it's a problem. I'm going to deflect it back to you because I know what I'm doing is wrong. But I would like to hold on to you while I figure out what I really want, is what I see here. And why don't you know what you want? You know, I mean, that's really what it is. It's like when I look at, see, they know that you're their soulmate. They know it. So that's the issue. It's almost like I met you, but I'm not ready for this. I'm ready, but I'm not. So instead, they don't communicate because if they communicated, then Virgo, you would have the choice, the option to say, you know what, then let me go and entertain myself. And when you're ready, come find me. This person doesn't want to do all that work either, is what I feel like. It's easier this way for me. So, and I think that this is what, you know, was revealed. It's like you're selfish. You're selfish. You don't care about me. You only care about yourself. Rocky. Like, and it's like, and there's a thing like you're like, it's like you make it difficult. You make it difficult. And there's a part of you, Virgo, that you're like, I'm tired of it being difficult. It doesn't need to be this difficult. You make it difficult. And they do because they don't really know what they want. It's like they know that there is a connection, they know that they have feelings, but they also know that you're deserving of much more than what they're ready to give. And that's the issue, why they hold back. Because I feel like they overthink. And then what happens is it's like I feel like I feel like at this point you're I feel like they can feel that you're like that you're angry, you know, like you're like it's enough is enough. It's enough with the disrespect. It's enough with the disrespect, and you actually think that I would give you another chance after this. It's like no. And but I feel like this definitely triggered inner child wounds within inside of you too. Yeah, like again, this person is like wants forgiveness now, like I said, and but I feel like you're like, I don't give a shit. You took it too far and you're I'm sorry is like I feel like sometimes when people I had to take a drink, I was gonna choke. I had a tickle in my throat, sorry. That when people are so used of like doing things, and I feel like you took this person back, like you said, you kept expecting that it was gonna come, it was gonna come, it was gonna come, and then it just never came. Um, that obviously like your inner child wounds were definitely triggered. This person has inner child wounds, why they again felt the need to scatter their energy. But there's a sense of like, again, this person thinking that maybe time is going to make it better. And what I think that they realize is time made it 1,000 times worse. They didn't mean to hurt you, but you're holding on to it. So there's a sense like this is why they're not coming in. Like they're like, you need to forgive. And I hate that message, to be honest with you, because like, you know, forgiveness isn't just done, it's earned. So again, this person wants forgiveness, but they did everything here that they wanted to do. And that's what we see. And it did open up inner child wounds. So maybe that's only what this relationship was supposed to do, make you aware. Because, like I said, there's a sense of that sometimes people are just not on, if they're going to trigger you all the time. And I feel like this person would trigger you all the time. Because, again, they're going to go from one extreme to another extreme and they just say that they're sorry and it's just not enough. It's not enough is what I'm feeling that from you, Virgo, that you're like, it's just not enough. It's like you did too many things to be able to just come in here and say, you're sorry. I want to see it. I want proof. You'd have to work really hard and do a lot. And I think that there's a part of you that's like, you're not going to be able to do it because I would expect you to be damn near perfect for me. After you did all this, it's like there was a sense of, because how will I know that you're not, again, gonna try and get over on me? So like the way that you are, once you get what you want, it's like, and there was no real consequence. And I feel like that's truly where you are right now. Like, in order for you to, it would be for me to say, just get over and forgive. That's a lie. No one can do that. It's like, there has to be changed behavior. And so what I see is, again, this person is going to come back and you'll have the satisfaction to tell them yes or no. But I feel like you're holding on to a cognitive dissonance that you're like, this person did so much shit to me, I should say no. And I'm actually angry at myself that I still have feelings, because I feel like that's how they get over, because they know I still have feelings. So you're again holding on to that cognitive dissonance, which is yes and no. So the way that you again get out of that is to understand, why did you attract this person into your life? What were you supposed to learn? What was supposed to be integrated? That's actually from this deck. What were you supposed to integrate? What are you supposed to learn? And then we'll go a little bit deeper to see whether they will do anything different. But I just think that this person, when they met you, they just weren't ready to be in a connection, and they weren't honest about it, because they knew like, well, you'll move on, you'll meet somebody else, and I don't really want you to do that either. Oppression, the inner child wounds, these are okay. Innocence, and I said I felt like your person felt like you were naive. Support, oppressed and support already. It's like hope, naive, like innocence and naive, and space. So you attracted this person because I feel like you grew up in an environment where you were not allowed to like be your own self, like whatever you were into. If you were into art, maybe your parents were like, no, you have to put the time towards learning your math. That's an example. Or if you wanted to grow your hair green, someone said you're not allowed to grow your hair green. Or if you decided to be gay, someone said that you're not allowed to be gay. Like again, someone oppressed your energy to the fact that it was traumatizing. And so there's all this space, right? When we create, what are we doing? We're going out into the world and we're almost like taking a clean canvas and we're creating. Well, again, this space is to really go out and find yourself, to again create yourself. I feel like you weren't allowed to do that in childhood. So it didn't mean that you didn't go to school, but what it meant was everything was kind of like suppressed, everything was oppressed. Like we had to do what our parents said, and they were really strict. They put a lot of emphasis on grades, they put a lot of emphasis on our religion, they put a lot of emphasis on stereotypes, our culture, whatever it is. It was that the environment like oppressed you, but that keeps you down, right? If you could see, it's in a negative way that we always see oppression. It's forced. And so I believe that naive and innocence tend to happen when you don't go out and explore, right? When you don't go out and, you know, date 1,000 people and interact with a lot of different people and go to all different places and find your own way. And when we find our own way, it's again that we just go out and join things that we love. We connect to people that we, you know, have common interests in. We learn from those people. We then explore more and we find out who we are on such a deep level that we're able to, you know, express ourselves in like a in a balanced way, in a clear way, and in a creative way, but also we don't stay as innocent anymore because we met all different types of people. We've encountered all different types of things. So I believe that this person thought that you were naive and that you wouldn't notice that, again, they were keeping you down and that you really weren't missing out on, you know, because nothing was happening, because you weren't really doing anything anyway. But it's again, who are they to make it that? And this again, because they weren't going to be around to actually give you support. And so understand if you grew up in an environment where you were always told who you are, who you should be, and every time you tried to you know, go out to find yourself or express yourself, someone was smushing it down and because they didn't want to give you support, well, it would rob you of your hope, right? Over time. So I believe that you still had stagnant energy from your childhood. And so you are, after this experience, you're no longer as innocent. Now, it's not to be jaded, but it's not to be naive either. It's to see things from a balanced perception, and that's through the lens of unconditional love. This person does have feelings for you. It's not like they didn't. It says more about them than it does you, their unsurety, again, of what they were ready and prepared to do. It's almost like right person, wrong time. That's what I feel like. And this person just tried to hold on to it, even though it wasn't right. They were very selfish about the way that they did it. Then I believe that they're selfish. So this person would need to actually be taught. They act like a child, right? They have to learn. They have to learn. But they have to create the support. You'd have to create, like, there's a part of you that would need to come in and actually reparent yourself through this connection if you wanted to be able to be in this connection balance, meaning you're giving yourself the support and you're creating yourself. And I feel like you're like, no, I deserve so much more. Who the fuck needs to be in a connection where I emotionally didn't get anything to begin with? And you don't have time to really prove to me now. You're still connected, so I'm still the person that's in the connection by myself. I feel like that's why there's anxiety, because when they could be in the connection with you, they weren't. And then what I feel like, I don't know, let's see why they're in the connection that they're in. Because it's like, I don't know what's going on, why they can't come towards you. I just know that they played a whole shitload of games and that this connection never got off the ground, though that there was always promises that they would. And this person always held on to you as if like it was a connection, like almost like you guys were together, but you weren't together because they weren't giving you any time. So, well, again, there, but this comes up again as anxiety. Like it's again, this person, I feel like I feel like they made the wrong direction. They, 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 they had an option to, I feel like, go back with a karmic, and I kind of feel like they did because there's too much anxiety here. There's too much pressure. This person is like pulling away and wants to go in the opposite direction. Okay. So you know that they went with somebody else. Again, look at this. And they have a broken heart now. And that's really what I feel like. It's like they have a broken heart because I feel like they were coming to you. They were coming to you, and I feel like they were influenced, and then somebody purposely interfered with this connection. And there is sadness. This person feels hopeless. They're bitter. I mean, they're not in a good place. That's why they have a lot of anxiety. But I'm feeling like this person either wasn't 100% out of a connection when they met you, was on their way out of a connection with you, but I don't think that they were 100% free. I think that somebody just made it difficult. This person does plan on like coming back into your life, but six is around the autumn. But I feel like again by then, like you don't have any feelings now towards this person because they took too long. So by the time that they come back in the fall, it's like you're not gonna want to believe in that. And this person really wants to believe like in like a happy, like they're by the time they get back to you, there's gonna be like they want it to be like a happily ever after. That's what they're hoping for. Like almost like it would be like a fairy tale ending, right? With that everything was all happy, but I don't really feel that that's what's gonna happen. Again, no, because you're too fearful. You're like, no, it's like you can prove to me all that you want, but I don't buy it. It's again, it's like this person feels like the time. I don't know where they get off. Like again, they just keep procrastinating and feel like the time is helping us heal. And I feel like it's just their avoidant way, and I just feel like by the time that they finally come back to you, you're not going to be interested because you're like, I'm too fearful. You did too much. You weren't here. You're coming in with an I'm sorry. You want forgiveness, but your forgiveness isn't enough for what you did. It's like, and you really don't have a way to prove it to me. And I think that the only reason why that they came back into your life was that spirit saying, like, listen, you grew up in a way that you were suppressed. You weren't allowed to go out and explore and find yourself and do what was best for you. You were oppressed. This person oppressed you too. They held on to you. They were acted like that was the only option for you. And like not acted like there was that was the only option, but they acted as if you care about me so much, you're not going to go out and cheat on me. and you trust me, and they use your innocence. Thought that you were naive, that you were just going to keep putting up with it. And because again, you don't know any better. There's nothing else going on in your life. So what's the big deal? And so what it is now they realize that they took this too far. But I feel like they didn't mean to take it too far. I feel like when they had the opportunity to be with you, they didn't want to. They had all these other options. And then it's like, I feel like one of those options was a karmic. And I feel like they went back with the karmic, possibly only for a one night stand, possibly for only just a hookup, here for a good time, not a long time. That karmic lured them in, and for somehow is tripping this person up. Now I don't know whether or not, it's not saying like that person did anything like got pregnant or anything like that. It's not saying that. What it's saying is that it's almost like maybe this person got confused. Like, I went back and I don't really know. It's what's familiar. It's, I don't have to really level up with this person. Again, they were willing to let me have a one night stand. You're not willing to let me do that. So I feel like it was something more like that. And, where they don't have true feelings for this person. However, it's like almost like this side piece that I feel like that they tend to go back to from, maybe it's like from time to time, but if this person is not a regular, I just feel like, that they got confused, they got freaked out. And I also think the karmic or the person says, you're not really that type of person, a relationship person, puts things into their head. And so there's like, this person never took the time to build an emotional connection to you, so they don't take your feelings into consideration. And that's really the bottom line here. And that's really what makes you not trust this person or want to really deal with this person. I'm looking for my cards. And that's what I'm feeling. It's like, and it's their loss, because when they come back, they're gonna know automatically that they lost you. I feel like they know already that they lost you, but I do feel like they're gonna come back regardless, because again, they just feel like it, and there's a sense of that it'll be possibly the universe allows you to do this so you can get justice, because this person was an asshole the whole time. If they just would have not played games to begin with and been in your life and giving you something, but the problem is they knew that they couldn't just give you a little bit, and they didn't want that connection. So now they don't get that connection. Trust. So Spirit is saying, I trust life and my strengths. Each moment guides me to the light. Everything on my path is placed there for my growth. So again, I do believe that this was a karmic connection, and it was mainly just brought into your life to dig out the wounds, suppressed wounds that you had, actually repressed wounds, because when they're childhood wounds, they're repressed. By the time that we're in our 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s, forget about it. They're repressed. We don't even know that we have those wounds anymore. They're not conscious anymore. And I feel like this person came into your life to do that. And what it brought up was like your abandonment issues, no support. I'm here by myself. Like I have no support. However, I'm being oppressed. I have no support. Like, my parents don't support me. They don't love, they don't guide, but then I also have 1,000 rules that I can't do anything. Otherwise I would get punished. So that, I feel like, was the energy there. Maybe that wasn't the scenario, but it's definitely the energy there. Or something like that scenario. And this person did the same thing. It's like, I want to be with you and hold on to you, but I'm not going to give you anything. but I'm going to give you a bunch of rules. Like you can't go out and meet anyone and do anything either because I'm still trying to figure it out. So I feel like that's what it was. And it brought up again, you had to listen to your own intuition and be like your higher self and have discernment where you're like, okay, I don't trust this. I trust myself. And I know that, you know, everything is placed on my path for my evolution. So it's not like, am I disappointed? Yeah, I'm sure that some of you are disappointed, but in the end, once you integrate those wounds, you'll pull in somebody to you that is actually able to give to you. Because I feel like the trauma that you instilled in childhood, you weren't recognizing people that emotionally were not going to be able to give to you. And it starts off by them in avoidance, giving other people the time and the energy and never making the time for you. That's how it starts. It doesn't start with a person doing something major. It does it like something where you're like, wow, I'm surprised that you didn't call me for that. Wow, I'm surprised that you didn't say anything to me when for that. And it could be something as like big as like, so God forbid, someone dying close to you, or it could be like getting a job, it could be it's just something that emotionally this person should have been able to stand up, should have been able to pick up the phone, should have been able to send a text message, given something on an emotional level to you, but then they never did. And then when you would call them out on it, they'd act all dramatic, like as a way that was, you weren't going to say anything. And I just feel like you were like, that's abusive. And I just don't feel safe in this relationship. So I'm going to leave that there. Unfortunately, not all of our relationships we're supposed to be with. Sometimes people just come in for a day, a season, or a lifetime. And those people that come in for a season, we really have to watch out for, because they're coming in with karmic lessons that a lot of times could leave us like in a place of devastation. In this story, thank God, no, Virgo, you had discernment and you were like, no, it's like I already went through it. I went through it while I was in the connection with you, is what I feel like, Virgo, you guys are saying. You're like, no, I went through it when I was with them. And then once I left, thank God it got better. They couldn't reel me back in, though they tried to. They might have did it once, twice, three times, but then after a while, that like it's not happening anymore like that. Now I feel like you've completely shut off. However, shutting off and not integrating the spiritual lesson will only still make you a magnet to the same types of energies. So remember, integrate the spiritual lessons. And like I said, they already helped you do one. You're no longer innocent to that energy, right? And your action will show that you have hope. So just take the time to heal yourself and create the support that you need by joining things, doing things that you love. I'm going to leave that there, Virgo, and I'll talk to you guys soon.